Okay, so it's another one of those beautiful days here in Florida. I love this time of the year. I often joke that if it was like this all the time, I would just live on a park bench and never do anything. But that's just a joke. All right, I'm going to take a ride down the beach. There's a lot going on the beach right now. There is the sand sculpture going on, which creates a lot of we get a lot of visitors. The whale just opened up, and I'm going to put this mic on so that we get better audio. And there's a lot of people here. A lot of people here. So, a lot of boating activity. The new bridge is done. And so basically, I'm going to head on down to basically, my bike ride is down to Margaritaville, typically. So, heading down there right now. I'm going to film a little bit here, and then I'm going to start it back up on the beach. So, it's funny. I got so much going on right now that trying to make sure I get my bike ride in. I like to try to do this about 5 times a week. Try to stay healthy, trying to stay young. For my age, I'm very young. For my age, I got a lot of energy, but it's easy to let that go. So anyway, I'm pretty excited about the whole bridge thing. My 2 sons, I really only have one son, but I have another one that's been with us working our business for so many years. He more or less is my other son. So they had Friendsgiving because my son is going to be out of town. He's going on a cruise for the holiday, and with his in-laws, his in-laws, and they're going for a cruise. But anyway, they were giving me a lot of crap about the bridge because I've been covering it so much. But hey, you know what? This bridge is amazing. To me, it's like a huge gift that I just got. So I'm gonna turn around here real quick so just show you what's going on. I mean, the amount of people coming down to this sculpting thing it's just amazing to me. But there's the bridge. Isn't that cool? So you see the drawbridge is up. They are well underway as far as taking it apart. They've already peeled up the asphalt. They've got in like 5 or 6 of the pilings so far to finish up the bridge. I don't know if you know this or not, but they only did half of the one end because the other half of the bridge was going to go right over the roadway and would have created a very miserable thing for those of us that live here. It would have been a long drive around to go to Bonita. There's a lot of us here that either work or do our shopping and all that stuff in Bonita and not in Fort Myers. Maybe it's just the south end that does that, I'm not sure. So there's some really cool stuff that has gone on. Hurricane Ian hit us 3 years and a couple months ago. So like 38 months ago. And we've come a long way. Nothing really big has been built since then. Probably the biggest thing that got started and has been finished since Ian, unless I'm not thinking of something else other than big houses, is the whale. So lots of really cool stuff coming. Kill winds. They basically came in and drew up their plans, and it fits within what the town comprehensive plan is, and they're saying that's going to be a shoe-in. Persat is pushing to get his Project approved. They kind of played a game with the planning stuff. From what I hear, and this is the scuttlebutt, but what I hear is he changed the rooms from calling them rooms, calling them offices, and he's able to pretty much build the same thing he had built or proposed before, just looks different, which is kind of fun and interesting. But hey, if it fits within the comprehensive plan, guess what? It fits, and that's the way it works. You know, whether he changes those offices into rooms or rents them out or whatever, well, I don't know. Everybody's so skeptical. So living here on the island is kind of fun in a way. It's not so fun in other ways. A lot of people have their opinions about what should be here, what shouldn't be here. From a practical standpoint, the gigantic developments, I don't know, man, because season really hasn't gotten into full bloom yet. It won't until now this is me telling you what I think. I don't know that it's actually true. Season starts in October, and I have seen that this year. Now last year I didn't see it at all, and the year before I didn't see it at all. So at any rate, I was just noticing that something that's been kind of an eyesore has been cleaned up. So this right here had a lot of debris left on it. Looks like they're going to leave the concrete, or at least he's not peeled it up yet. He's pulled all the pilings out, so it's going to look a lot better. And this is kind of where I come to access the beach on this end. So yeah, it is somebody's private property, but they weren't policing it, so maybe I'll have to find a new spot. So the cool thing about Hurricane Ian, as far as Fort Myers Beach, if you're a visitor or a tourist, is you can see the ocean now. You can drive down Estero Boulevard and you can see the ocean a lot. Now, before Hurricane Ian, between the landscaping, the garages, the houses, how closely they were built together, you couldn't see it. I mean, you could see a little brief glimpses as you drove down Estero Boulevard, but you couldn't really see it. So some really cool stuff starting here. I understand that they're going to go ahead and start repairing all the infrastructure. They got the funding for that. So they're going to fix Estero Boulevard where the damage, because we just finished a 7-year project right before Hurricane Ian hit. And yeah, I'm a local. Yes, I'm a local. I live here. If you don't know me, if it's your first time to our channel. So what the benefit of hearing from a local is, guess what? You get to hear what's really going on. And then I'm staying right on top of a whole bunch of different things. Lots of stuff that's going on. Like, I'll give you an example. This Mariner's Boathouse right here, that beach resort. The scuttlebutt is, it's a timeshare, and they were going to just sell the whole thing. And they got really close to listing it, and they never did. But there's just a lot of unknowns that I think that people don't realize is going to go on when they do that, because they waited a long time. And I don't know that that really affects anything other than it's going to cost them a whole bunch of carrying costs and lack of money being made. But what's going on is they were going to try to sell the whole thing and just see if somebody wanted to come in and maybe turn it into motel rooms or something like that. I noticed for a long time that nothing was being done. They are working on it a little bit now. And anyway, it looks like they are going to renovate it and put it back out as a timeshare, which is cool. It's just, those of us that have been around this stuff long enough know kind of how difficult it is to get everybody to agree, and what the condo fees have become since the storm. And when the storm hit, that's not the only thing that hit at the same time. DeSantis, well, I don't want to blame it on him or blame it at any rate on anybody, but what he did is they put in new rules. They've been allowing the condos associations to pretty much handle their own business, and now they're being regulated to protect everybody. They're going to mandatory require them to carry reserves. You're not going to have a choice about whether you want to do that or not, if they want to handle everything through assessments. And then they're doing required inspections, and this is all comes from that Surfside property falling apart and crashing down and killing, I think it was 100 people. So I'm gonna put that on hold for a second. So Badass Coffee's open, Royal Shell's open. There's nothing in here right now to the right. I know somebody was negotiating with them about doing something here, and they weren't really getting anywhere. I mean, this has kind of gone from a problem to being a really cool thing. So anyway, I'm trying to sneak in here. They blocked this off, so I'm gonna turn around. So it looks like they're doing tile. So that's good. So this is, I want to say it's like Logo Next or something like that. I don't know. They had a sign up for a bit, but I guess they made them tear it down. So they're doing tile now. So that's at the tail end of this thing. Hey, how long before they're open?
I think December.
December, awesome. So we got something else is going on in here. And this is just a demo permit for Shake It Properties. That's the guy that owns this place. And the permit, I don't know what they're doing. It doesn't say what they're building. Yeah, it just says they're getting it ready. Oh, New York Pizza and Pasta. The owner of New York Pizza and Pasta. So there's going to be 2 Italian restaurants right next to each other. So you got Wicked Wasabi, the roll bar here. And I don't know if it's open yet or not, or if that might be part of this. I need to go in there. We'll make a trip in there. I don't want to do it right now. I don't want to miss out on my working out. The Islander opened up, and that's the lady that owns several of them down in Times Square. Got Cream. She's back open. Interiors Unlimited is in here for a minute. Anita's Book Nook. Leanne's, hopefully I'm saying that right. Sweet Licks is a ice cream shop. The UPS store is open. Yay! I didn't even know that. That's cool. Ace Hardware, Island Liquor, Surf Style. This place is looking very much alive. I'm going to do a real quick turnaround here so you can see the whole place. Okay. So Synovus has got their ATM machine here. And that's, brand new 2 years ago. So a lot of activity down here. They're doing the farmer's market down here 2 days a week again. And it's a big deal. We got a lot going on. A lot has happened since Hurricane Ian. The cool thing is everything's brand new. There are more condos open now than ever. There still are quite a few that are they're just not there yet. They're close. You see them working on them, but they're just And I would say that, if you say why, I would say negotiating with the insurance companies or being underinsured, negotiating with your owners about getting things done, because not everybody agrees with the way things are going to be done, and if there's just depends on the leadership. So this is the old Wyndham property I just showed you, and this is where they used to have the sand sculpture, and it was very well suited for it. The problem with where they're doing it right now, it's actually a good thing, and it's a bad thing. It makes it very congested up there, but there's plenty of parking and everything up there. But what happens up there is it just makes it really, really super congested. Less congested down here on the south end, probably for the benefit of all the businesses that are reopened and all the businesses that are trying to recover still. All that business being had all downtown Fort Myers Beach it's not a bad thing. It really isn't a bad thing. So if you look at everything, we drove our wave runners today. We ran over to see the lighthouse. I was just looking, I was curious to see how much erosion had happened around the lighthouse. I heard there was a lot. It's a lot closer to the edge of the point than it used to be. So this baby's done. This one to my left, I'm gonna go in the parking lot there for just a second. It had scaffolding all the way up this building forever. This gull wing is what it's called. Okay, you see it? So it looks great. Looks like they're done with it. That would be awesome. I hear some pickleball going on up there. That's awesome too. So, what we're doing here, what Claudia and I are doing here is, Claudia and I both share a love for the creator space. She used to have a pretty good sized channel on Instagram, and she woke up one day and it was gone. And that's crazy. I feel bad for her about that. But we started doing some stuff together. If you love something, it's not work. Well, we love it. She loves it. We do a lot of stuff. Saturdays and Sundays we're playing with this stuff. She does all the editing. She does all the stuff to it. I am teaching her how to do the YouTube stuff. We already have a channel. My son and I and Talon have a channel called Remove It Pros Demolition, and we're still learning that. But we're at about 57,000 subs, which puts us in the top 2%. So this one here, it looks like they are finally open. So, or mostly open. Yeah, you still got some stuff on. Yeah, thank you. That's all Fort Myers Beach is right now, right? No, actually, it's getting better. So, all right, thank you for being here. So, I appreciate that. So, Claudia always gives me crap about this one because her last name's Sierra, and the building's got a big S on the top of it. You see it right there? So, she's always joking that that's her building. So they came out with some preliminary plans, and I believe they got approval or kind of approval for this beach theater. These guys actually own the Dolphin, and they own that white building you just saw a second ago. And I'm going to show you something. So what they've been waiting for is to get this put in, and I'll show it to you here. So they've got this new dock situation here, and they put in a new seawall, and they've got it to where they can they got it to where they can go ahead and start using this place. So there is, you know, there's some, you know, some neighborhood pushback a little bit on this. I don't know that it's going to be a problem. It could, though. It's going to be noisier. There's definitely going to be boats going in and out of here a lot. But I think, hey, we live on a freaking resort island, man. Everybody's got to, the first thing you got to do when you come to Fort Myers Beach is understand that. Is there going to be some noise? Sure. They cut it off at 9 o'clock. I mean, even us guys that go to bed early, we don't go to bed before 9 o'clock. So London Bay, the scuttlebutt on that is they got more money than God, and they're just going to sit on this thing until everybody gets through battling, and then they're going to come in and build something really big. So that's what I have heard. There's definitely room for it down here. Still, the infrastructure, handling it, getting off each end of the beach is still going to be a struggle, especially during the season. If you're going off the island at certain times of the day, you're going to struggle getting off. You're going to be, you just got to know when it is. You know, from like 3 o'clock on, you're subject to whether or not you can get off the island. If it's 3 o'clock, I always check my phone, and typically I change my mind if I'm driving, if I don't feel like riding my electric bike, and I'll go to Bonita for whatever I'm going to do. I am just freaking crazy about this whole thing, this island. I don't know why, but I am. There's so much going on. There's so many houses that have been built since the hurricane. Everything's fresh and new. The boat docks, the lifts, all that stuff in really good condition. I would say we got spared from the hurricanes this year. So that's 1 year under our belt. If we get another year under our belt, I think it's just going to explode here. It's going to really, really take off even more. Everybody's already gained a lot of confidence just going through 1 year of not having hurricanes. So I'm pretty sure this is Flamingo Street. And I'm just showing you a little bit. So a lot of people putting up these chains and stuff because they're not here, people just assume they can do whatever they want. And some of the property owners, like this one to the left, this is Flamingo, you know, they're not maintaining their property. So I made it easy on my neighbors. We had a lot of unwelcome visitors and people storing stuff on their lots, and then when they would leave, they would throw off whatever they didn't want off of their lots, out of their trailers and stuff. And so we blocked it all off. I put up chains and I maintain it because they're not here. And I spend the money to have it mowed. It's not that much money. I worked something out with one of the guys. He mows most of the grass on the street. He also does some of my rental properties. So we tore that one down directly ahead of us there. They left the concrete. So I mow the grass for, you know, a good portion of my street. Not a good portion, about 25% of it. And just because I want to see it pretty, you know, I really do. The guys that I'm mowing it for, they're kind of my friends. That also lets me have the option that if I need to do something, I have it. So right here to the left, okay, this is a brand new modular right here. Do you believe that's a freaking modular? It's gigantic. There's two of those within about a mile of here. Here's another one that's really fascinating to me. This one sold, this white one here sold for $11 million. So I don't know if that's the most so far on the island, but that was started before Ian. Now I'm going off my memory, which is subject, but this one right here, they're asking $5 million for that. It's on Estero Boulevard. A lot of brand new houses. That's brand new. This one to the right, this one right here, this blue one's brand new. And here is where I'm going to jump onto the beach. So this is a beach ride for me. I normally come down this far to get on the beach, and that's because the sand on this end, like this sand right here, this is not the normal sand that we have. This sand came from probably Central Florida somewhere. I don't know why we've got this different kind of sand, but it doesn't compact at all. It just keeps moving around. But a lot of the sand, well, I'm not saying anything else about that, but this comes from there. In this one area down there, there's a sand that's kind of like this kind of sand. I'll talk about sand in a minute. This sand right here, it's really not beach sand. Well, it's not the beach sand. Now this is the beach sand like we have normally, or very close to it. So what happens is this will never compact down. So if you notice the plants right here, these plants are the beginnings of a something to help us keep the wave action down. We did not have that for the majority of the island, and the storm surge and stuff, when it came over, it was unhindered, and it made a big mess. So the winds picked up a little bit. We were out here on wave runners earlier, and I went, I don't know if you can see it, but way out there, that little thing sticking up, that's the Sanibel Lighthouse. So the water was kind of flat, and being that I'm not 21 years old anymore, going up and down 500 million times, riding my wave runner 25 miles is not on my list of things I want to do. So I saw that, and I grabbed Claudia and one of my good friends, he's a trainer actually at Gold's, and his girlfriend, and we got on the wave runners and we busted a move, and we went over there, and that's a different video. Very cool, very fun. So I got my 3G fat tire bike. This is like my 10th one. I ride them a lot, so I wear them out. Believe it or not, what happens is the saltiness, because sometimes I'm in and out of the water a little bit, the saltiness of the air, the saltiness of the water, it eats the aluminum. This is an aluminum bike. Hi there. And then it's got stainless steel chain and gears and stuff like that. They just hold up a little bit longer. They don't rust as fast. They do rust, they just don't rust as fast. And the tires are really fat. So when you're a big guy like me, you don't sink into the sand, you can ride on top of it, mostly. I mean, when you're going across soft sand, I still can't pedal it across, it's just too much. And the few times that I have, I broke chains, I broke the pedals off and stuff like that. So I'm pushing, 375. So when you're that big, you push around some serious weight, so your legs are really strong. Hi there. So here it is. I mean, it's kind of a blustery day at this point. A pretty typical thing for the beach. Normally has some sort of a beach breeze almost all the time. As the day marches on, it's about 3 o'clock right now, maybe 3:30. You normally have a breeze. So I'm gonna be quiet for a little bit and just let you listen to the waves. until we get down there closer to the sand sculpture and that. No, it's just not as much to say here. All right, so some interesting things that are going on. Okay, you see right here, okay, right through here, all of this right here, yellow house, pink house, gray and white house, and then there's pilings and an empty lot. And then there's two more houses behind there. This little development here on the market for, last time I checked, this was 4 or 5 months ago, was $11 million. Now, this right here was built by Wyndham, pretty sure it's Wyndham, with Potter Homes, and they built this 10 years ago. And when they built that, I did the math on it, and I asked some of the Potter guys, and I did some rough math on it. So they made probably $10 million off of that. So each one of those is worth 3 million, 4 million, 5 million. I don't know what the market's at right now. This one right here is brand new. The one across the street is not brand new, but it's in very good condition. And then this baby over here, okay, right there, that, it was all marked up like it had structural problems. And I thought, man, there is no way, because that was built to code. That might have been built to the old code prior to 2005. But it definitely meets code. Look at how tall it is, okay? So, at any rate, then all of a sudden in about 2.3 seconds, they put that thing back together and they've got it rented out. So that's awesome. That's another one, okay? These are turns right here. They actually close off the whole other end of the island for these guys to nest every year. And then, I don't know how it works, but they go back and they chew up all the vegetation every year. And it's nice and sandy beaches, and then they block it off, it grows back, and they continue to do that. Now, I don't know this guy, but he would know me, and I know him just from saying hi on the beach. He does a lot of walking, I do a lot of biking. So I'd probably be as thin as he is if I walked, but I'm bored walking. So some of the things that I see, some of these condo complexes, the insurance companies would only pay for certain things to happen. Now these guys right here must have had really good insurance, or they got a big fat assessment. These two buildings right here. Notice their HVAC systems are on the top, on the roof. Okay. Now one of these buildings down here, they put them at ground level again. And this building right here with the red roof, same thing, ground level. Man, I don't know. We're gonna keep getting hit by storm surges if this is the new normal. Now Hurricane Even is definitely not a new normal. That was depends on who you talk to. That's a once in every 100-year storm. There was a storm that was similar to that in 1964 or 65 called Debbie. But I'm 60 years old. That's 60 years ago. I was born in 1964. Now we've had hurricanes, but nothing as devastating as what Hurricane Ian did. So, but the storm surges that are coming across, with these HVAC systems lower down, they're basically they're gonna get ruined again. So, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, it's not wildly expensive for that stuff, but, and the buildings, you know, they only have to be brought back to the code of when they were built. Plus, certain safety things have to be updated, fire department stuff and elevator stuff, things like that. But the structures themselves, they don't have to be elevated anymore or anything like that, unless you're a brand new project. And there's not one big project that's underway yet. So people, when this hit, are like, how long do you think for it to recover? And I hear people say 2 years, 3 years. And I thought in my head, being a general contractor, I was thinking, you know, probably 10 years. I mean, for everything to get built out. So, I think I'm probably right. So they've got a significant amount of the houses are built. Now there's a significant number of houses yet to be built. If you're not from here and you're watching this channel, this is one really cool thing. You're supposed to have, you can have your dog on the beach on a 6-foot leash. So this is something I don't do with my wave runners. I don't think it really hurts them, but so this is where the Strand View was, that 7-story building that we tore down. If you want to watch some of our other videos on our other channel, just a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. So the whale is open. He's having some growing pains, so bear with him. I mean, he's not a restaurateur, and he built something ginormous, and it takes a lot of coordination and structure, and a lot of you don't have a very successful restaurant right out of the gate. You have to go through a learning curve. So I don't know if he's going through a learning curve or not, but when I talked to him and I met him, he said he's never really been in the restaurant business, so I knew he'd have some learning curves to go through. He had lines out the door and ran out of food and stuff like that, so bear with him. Dude, the location is off the chain. It's off the chart, and what he built and where he built it and the views is pretty freaking impressive. So he just opened up. Bonita Bills just opened up, or it might be called the Bonita Company. Please don't get at me for butchering names, but the same guys own all those restaurants over there on San Carlos Island. I'm always mindful of the kids because they're not expecting people to be going by them on bicycles. So, so they own Doc Ford's, they own Dixie Fish Company, both great places to eat. Never had a bad meal at either. Honestly, the food on Fort Myers Beach, I probably don't have one gripe about the food on any of the restaurants at all. Now the service, my girlfriend gives me crap because I always want to go to the same places over and over and over. And she's like, she doesn't like that. And I'm like, well, the food to me is all the same, or going to be very similar. I want good service. and I don't want to cook at home. So I do cook at home a little bit, but I don't really want to. I live on a resort island, so I can do resort island things, you know? So these two houses right here were just built and finished up by the property medic. And I know them guys from a long time ago. I haven't hung out with them in a long time, but they got a very good reputation. And they're also known as the people to go to that are affordable, more affordable. And when you're building a $3 million house, I don't know how affordable you have to be, but those houses probably cost $1.5 million in our marketplace to build. They're on lots that are worth a minimum of $3 million. So those two houses, they're not mansions like they're building on Hickory Boulevard, which is in Bonita, or like that $11 million house I was just talking about, but they are like this right here. This is a Potter home. That's probably 4,500 to 5,000 square feet. And I think the one next door to it is also a Potter home. Those guys, they built one on my street, 5,500 square feet. Gotta have $3 million in just building the house. Morning or afternoon. And I'm saying morning because that's what I normally do. I'm normally riding out here in the mornings. So look at the monster, that monster. That guy, I was going to give him some crap. I saw him this morning. Ed had his Beach Talk Radio meeting with the mayor at Wahoo Willie's. We had breakfast there. And I was going to give him crap because he's the richest guy I've ever met that's had a yard sale. He had a garage sale for like 2 weeks. So, I don't know. Maybe he had a lot of stuff left over from building that house. I don't know. He was very hands-on. I seen him working there every day. I don't think that he really needs to. I think he wanted to. Pretty sure his name's Jamie. I talked to him one day for 45 minutes, and it was a pleasure. I actually tore some houses down for him. I never really met him at that time. After Hurricane Ian, we did he had quite a few of them that were frame houses he had bought, and they were all gone. Every one of them. So, and then he owned one right where he built that house, and I think he might have bought the lot next door. So, excuse me, sorry about that, young man. Yeah. I know that some of these guys, I talk to them riding their bikes and get mad about that, and I'm like, look, we're on the freaking beach, man. Kids are kids, and they're not expecting a bike or a electric bike or a cart to be driving down the thing. We got to yield to them, and we got to think for them because they're children. So here we are, we're going to get into the more populated part of the beach. Very brisk wind, which is going to be kind of nice. See, like this little guy here, he ain't paying no attention. And then they turn around just like that. So, hi there. That's a good example of what I was talking about. They have no idea that somebody's coming, and they're not going to be expecting it. So you got to think for them. Electric bikes were outlawed for a little bit on the sidewalks. They changed that around, excuse me. And you're allowed on the sidewalk. They're asking you, or us, that ride our bikes on the sidewalk just to keep the speed down and be mindful of the pedestrians, which we're going to do anyway. And if you live on the south end and you want to eat on the north end, and you don't want to sit in traffic for an hour to 2 hours, depending on what time of the year it is, buy an electric bike. And then resist the temptation to bring them over here on the water. Electric motors don't do well with salt water. And I'm not talking And I'm not talking several times, I'm talking one time. You get salt water in an electric motor, it's not sealed up good enough, it's toast the first time. So I do see electric bikes on the beach all the time. They're not supposed to be. I also see dogs off leashes all the time. They're not supposed to be. But you know, you're supposed to do 35 in a 35 mile per hour zone too, but how many people actually do that? So my house is ground level, and everybody I talk to after Hurricane Ian, they're like, are you gonna build up? Are you gonna build up? Are you gonna build up? And I'm like, oh, maybe. And then my friend, he had his house lifted, literally a concrete house. I actually gave him the information and introduced him to the guys that did it. I'm watching for him too, so yeah, no problem. So lots of kiddos down here. That's cool. It's Thanksgiving week next week. So anyway, there's just so much going on. Like this one right here, you know, that's not a McMansion, but it's a big house. Probably $1.5 million in that to build it. Gonna take, in our marketplace, I have a friend who builds in not Cincinnati, but the Columbus area more or less. He can still build houses in 90 days. Well, you'd be lucky to get your foundation in 90 days here. Although the house being built next door to me, once they actually started, they got the footers in, they got the first course of block in. I'm sure they're gonna run plumbing next, and then it's gonna be, they're rocking and rolling. But market's soft right now, so there's a lot of people that are available who normally are a month out or more. So good time to build your house if you're gonna build a house. Probably get better pricing too. A lot of the trades have let a lot of their people go in that. So people are doing different things for right now. Cool thing about our marketplace is if the market's soft during season, most of the guys, because there's just not enough people down here, they can get jobs in the tourist industry and get by until season starts again, which is when everybody leaves. Okay, and you might ask why. Why is because when, okay, let's say one guy is in a condo and he's going to do his flooring. Well, the thing he has to do his flooring first is he's got to take the old floor up. Well, now that's jackhammers, and they're starting at 7 or 8 in the morning all day long. And if you have a jackhammer in a normal sized building, anywhere in the building, you have an unbearable amount of noise going on all day long. So people who live here all year round have to put up with that. In these condos, they also get the place to themselves for most of the year. There's very few of them that do, at least in the ones that we work on. I have a picture of him on my posts on my Remove It Pros channel. He's got a little rack to put his shoes on. He carries on his back. It's kind of interesting. So during season, working on these properties and the gated communities and stuff like that, it's just not going to happen. They're not going to allow it. They don't want the noise. They don't want the chop saws cutting the tile. They don't want the dumpsters coming in at 7 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock. I'm shocked. I feel like I live on a development right now. There's lots of work going on my street. And you know, 5 o'clock in the morning, these guys are out here trading around dumpsters. Of course, if you got hurricane windows, you can't really hear them. So And for me, I get up early anyway. A really early riser, always have been. So like today, I slept in till 7, which is not very often. So now, my little joke to people that are down here, my buddies, I'll say we're in the land of the pretty people now. This is where all the people who are, I shouldn't say that. It's more Naples than Fort Myers Beach, but there's just a lot of people here, let's put it that way. So if you look to the right, you see over there, you see all them tents and that is not normal for here. That is the Sandcastle Championship going off. The one I was talking about earlier, that is in the, that was down in the Wyndham for like, I don't know, 20 years. So they're down here now. It looks like they fenced off the whole place, put all the vendors inside the fence. A lot of times in the other, where they did it down the street, a lot of the vendors were not inside the fence. So whether you paid your fee or not, you could still buy stuff. So they look like they got this whole thing fenced up, and it's big. It's really big. So this is an opportunity for the charities here to make some money, because the city gets very lenient on where you can park, and a lot of people with vacant properties let the different charities work and get the parking fees off of those lots. So here I am, have to stop a lot of families out here for Thanksgiving week. So this is Fort Myers Beach. You can tell me if you think it's recovered or not. We are, this is not the Lani Kai. This is down a little bit from the Lani Kai. I'm on your right, excuse me. So if you notice me on the, it's getting bumpier, that's because I'm on the actual sand, getting around everything. Look at how many little kids are here. That's awesome. I love to see the family units. So down here earlier, the wind wasn't as brisk, and well, there was about 50 or 60 boats out here earlier. There's still 15 down here and about another 15 up here. So these, if you're from Fort Myers Beach, you've been hanging around Fort Myers Beach for any length of time, this guy with the trombone, I've talked to him a few times. He seems like he might be I don't know. Let's just put it this way. He's not making any tune. He's just tooting. And he says hi to a lot of people, and that people give him money and that. I don't know the story. I don't want to say anything bad. Because I really don't know. I just know that when I talked to him, it didn't seem like he was all there. So, so here you go. You see him pulling out the jet skis. He's getting to the tail end of the day. Up there is the Lani Kai. And I want to point out two things to you about the Lani Kai. One is this restaurant right here. It just opened up. I don't know if they've been open or they're just advertising now or not. The restaurant on the other end, they covered it. So you can go up there and you don't have to bake in the sun, and you can have something to eat up there. It used to be a bar. I'm gonna go check that out here shortly, and we'll do a little special on it, or put out some shorts on that. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that's going on. So as we're out and about, we're checking out these restaurants and we're finding out their menus and we're putting it on this channel. We're looking for, you know, the best places to eat. We're looking for anything positive we could say about Fort Myers Beach. We're looking for unique things, unique situations. We'll go out paragliding. We're gonna do the whole 9 yards. And what we're gonna do is, for a while, we're gonna do all this, all of it just to get some traction, and then hopefully we're gonna be able to get advertisers. So that's the plan. So Margaritaville, if you watch my other channel, you could see we put some trail cams up around that for Hurricane Milton and Helene, and you got to see the storm come in and go back out. Somebody else did it for Ian. That's where we got the idea from, and we did the same thing for these other storms. So here's the Margaritaville, which, God bless America that we had that. That's kind of the gateway into the island. And it really set the tone when you got here, that you might not have noticed what a train wreck the rest of the island was. But it's come a long, long ways. Hi there. And this is, let's see, what time is it? It's 4:20 right now. So this is the day winding down for the beach. You know, most people come to the beach, you know, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and they're packing up, you know, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, you know. So these are kind of the diehards here. If you're not used to the sun and you're coming out hanging in the sun, it can wear you out. It's amazing to me how many babies I've seen and how many little 1- and 2-year-olds. So kind of a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. Hi. So as we get down here, I'm going to go up into the Times Square area and check that out. So earlier I was taking my wave runner and running through those pilings back there. I'm probably going to hear some comments about that, but it was fun. It was safe. I've been riding wave runners for 29 years, so I got a lot of experience with them. All right, so this is where the pier is going, the new pier. This is where the old pier was, and it's going to be demoed here shortly. They're in for permitting, is what I've heard. So there's a lot of additional permitting that goes into this because they're making it bigger. So there's certain things that they have to do. So this down here, I'm not sure what the story is, but they're making all the temporary structures that can't be pulled out by a pickup truck. They're supposed to be off the beach within a certain period of time, and that's created a big problem for these guys. I really haven't followed it, but this is, I forget what this is called, La Ola. So they have another location, from what I understand, off the island. So, hi there, sorry.
It's all good.
Yeah. It scared me too. All right, so I'm gonna ride through here and show you what's going on. So this is the new roundabout in full function. They got all the lights on, everything's working on it now. My favorite place to eat ice cream is up here on the left. This guy calls me his best friend. I tip people well. That sounds good. Sounds like he's got a blower on that thing. But at any rate, here's what you see when you come in. Now it's 4 o'clock on a, let's see, it's a Saturday. No, this is Sunday. It's 4 o'clock on Sunday and we got this much traffic here. It's kind of fascinating, huh? So that's Mr. Blue Wave. And then I noticed this restaurant here, the Bella Mozzarella Pizza, and that they're starting to do breakfast, which is cool. We need more breakfast places. Whoa, excuse me. And surf styles on both sides of the road now. And then here's our shuttle that runs during tourist season. And then this has become our new Times Square, at least temporarily. So there's a park at the end of this. The shipwreck guy here, John Ricard, he's renovating little by little, taking his time. He's probably gonna go gangbusters now. It seems like the market's back. We don't have these hurricanes hitting us over and over and over. Last year, this time, we were dealing with cleaning up from a hurricane. So he owns this place to the right too. He owns that Big Dick's, and he put in this beautiful parking lot here to the left, if you see that. And we got more parking than we've ever had on the beach. Smoking Oyster Brewery. I eat there frequently. One of my buddies loves that place. I like it too, but for me, I get to have grouper and broccoli there, which is my favorite meal. That and salmon and broccoli, those are my 2 favorite meals. Now, where I'm coming up to, this is 4 o'clock every Sunday. And again, we're going subject to my memory. They do this, they have a band. They used to have a band at Times Square. And I don't know if this is a Lee County park or if this is a Fort Myers Beach park or not, but Wahoo Willie's had breakfast there this morning. Love their breakfast. It's a limited menu breakfast, but it's pretty good. Snug Harbor to the left, Nervous Nellie's to the right, and that is Bayside Park. And like I said, this has become our new hangout until Times Square gets put back together. And who knows, it might stay it. I don't know. We'll see. Matanzas here. They opened up their restaurant. I keep calling it Matanzas Restaurant. It's actually called On the Bay, and it's on Matanzas Bay. And they put in new docks, and they put in an unbelievable restaurant here. It's freaking amazing. And so this is under the bridge. Over there, directly across, that is Bonita Bill's. And you can hear it here, it's rocking. Oh. So pretty much, I've given you a tour down the island. I'm gonna do this on a pretty regular basis. Also talking about what's opening, what's going on that's good, what's going on that's kind of questionable, and you know, just whatever comes to mind. We'll talk about the things that I've heard and the things that I'm seeing, and all from a local's perspective. I am a consumer here because, you know, I'm eating out constantly here and doing different things here. So those are those new electric dirt bikes. And so this is the back side of Margaritaville, and the lighthouse here is going to rebuild a bunch of their buildings. They're in for permit on that. The Margaritaville it's a class act. A really big operation. I'm down here at least once a week. These guys right here, I don't know the name of their company, but I see them everywhere. Where Trippin' Rides, there's basically 3 of those that are dominant down here. One just rents, and he brings them to you, I believe. That's actually the mayor. And then this Trip and Rides, and there's another one. I don't know what the name of it is. So anyway, we're gonna come up the street here. So I'm gonna show you the whale. Excuse me. And I'm gonna show you Margaritaville, and I'm gonna try to get in the middle of the street if I can. Excuse me. So the sheriff's thing is going to go down there next to Margaritaville now. They've been for development on this Sands property right here. And then this is the whale. Look at that. It is jam-packed. So let me get by, thank you. And yeah, it's pretty impressive. 3 stories of that, it's packed. So the sand sculpting competition has really helped bringing in a bunch of people this weekend, along with it being next weekend's a holiday weekend. So, all right. So here's your traffic, and you're going to see how much traffic there is, because I'm going to drive all the way up the street here. I'm going to get on the sidewalk when I can, but I'm going to drive all the way up the street. And this is pretty much normal for the beach. So what you do if you're coming here is you just plan around this. You know, you don't go anywhere after 3 o'clock off the island unless you're going to head towards Bonita. That's what the local people do. If you want to eat down here and you're on the south end, just get an electric bike or pedal bike, whichever you want. So I am crazy to do this, but I'm doing it anyway because I know how long it's going to take if I don't. And I'm just going to bypass all this traffic. And, you know, I'm a pedestrian. So I just want to show you this traffic. So I might, the cops are up here, so I'm going to have to get on the sidewalk at least for a minute. I'm going to jump over here. All right, there you go. There's another one of those trams. And this has become quite the event. Hi there. So, oh boy, he is going to mess this car up. He comes off of that. So this is what I was talking about, how congested it makes it up here. So all these parking lots, most of them, they're volunteering the money, or they're giving the money away. They're letting the nonprofits park in all these lots so that they can make some money for their causes, whatever they are. So some of it's, can I go that way? Thank you. Hey, hey, Kenny. There's Kenny, my buddy, my editor buddy. So I'm only going to run this for a little bit longer. I don't know that you're going to want to see this. I'm just trying to show you how much traffic there is, how many parking lots are full and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. It's really cool, actually. And because of the amount of traffic, I'm able to keep up with the traffic with my big fat butt. So Allaire and Keller Williams are going to rebuild right here. So that should be going on before too long. Allaire's got a pretty good foothold here on the beach. They're doing a lot of projects. Potter as well. I'm seeing, let's see, what is his name again? Gosh, I can't tell. Property Medic, the Stam family. Yep. And you know what? I've heard a lot of good things about those guys. So if you're looking for something a little more price conscious, Potter, I don't know what Allaire's at. Potter's kind of the top of the, they're the Rolls Royce. And I don't know what if they're more cost effective or not. I don't have any clue. I do know that we do a bunch of business with them, and they're a class act. We're thankful for their business. We also do a bunch of business with Allaire. Same thing with them. They do a lot of remodeling. Potter doesn't do a lot of the remodeling anymore. So this guy is going to be sorry he brought that car down here. That's pretty cool. It's got a blower on it. That's a C7 with a blower on it. I heard him coming across the beach. Now, to get off from here, oh boy, it's going to take him a while. So, that's pretty much it. I just gave you a download of my brain for almost 70 minutes. And hey, come visit. Hey, come buy some property. Come be a neighbor. We're back at it, and we're gonna be bigger and better and badder than everybody else. When we're done getting this thing renovated and built, it's gonna be the end all be all. It's gonna be the next best thing. It's already starting to be the next best thing. But from the residential part, the commercial stuff, only 2 commercial buildings that I know of. One's the Beach Bar, and the other one is the Whale. So those are the only ground up businesses that I've seen that have been built since then. There's been a lot of them that have been renovated and put back together. So one more thing, that building right there, the guys that bought the Whale, they bought that too. And they're gonna be putting a pizza joint in there. That's the old, that's one of the old firehouses. So that's it. So we'll see you on the next video.